What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come in and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on comments recently made by Dr. J, right? Now, Dr. J has came out and said about LeBron James in the past that LeBron James stacks his teams. He also in the past said that he had LeBron James ranked, I think, number 14 or 15 all time, right? Behind Scottie Pippen, right? So, and I think Dr. J took some flack for those statements that he said. So now it seems like Dr. J is trying to he's not really gonna come out and say what he really think, but he's not really gonna give too big of an endorsement to what's going on in Philly. So TMZ caught Dr. J at the airport and they asked him about, LeBron James and the team in Philly. And you can kind of tell from his statements that, he don't want to, he don't want to say anything that's going to get him in trouble, but he don't want to, lie too much either. Now, also this guy who questioned Dr. J at the airport, I don't know if I said stadium or airport, but at the airport said that this was this was the Philly's best team, right? Which I have to disagree with because when Dr. J played for him, they had Dr. J, Moses Malone, Andrew Toney. They had Andrew Toney. Let me see. What was the other guy? Bobby Jones, Maurice Mocheeks, right? That's the team they had when they won the championship. Now that team right there, in my opinion, was definitely better than what the Sixers have now, right? So, but let me play the audio. I just wanted to point that out that when the Sixers won the championship, that I think it was in '83. When they won a championship in '83, man, that team was way better than what the Sixers have now. But let's listen to what Dr. J had to say.
Philadelphia fans are rejoicing right now, not just because they landed LeBron,
right,
but because that this is maybe the best starting five of talent that anyone's ever seen. What are your thoughts on how great this team could be, the upside, everything? Just like what's going through your head as a legend from the city?
Yeah, what I've been doing is just pretty much giving the deal a thumbs up. The Jaylen Brown deal, thumbs up. You're right. They're going to be one of the most talented teams, but there's a big age discrepancy between the youngest, which is VJ and LeBron.
Right.
So how that works, it remains to be seen. You got 23-year-old, you got 42-year-old, or whatever on the as the bookends, and Embiid is somewhere in the middle. Obviously, Max is a very young player.
Yeah.
Jalen's a very young player. So how the whole thing works, it's just like, I don't know, trying to create something special, trying to create something you do in the kitchen and you mix the ingredients. And then, once you put fire under there, you see whether it's going to be good, great, or okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's great.
Right.
I'm hoping it's great.
Now you see a lot of people talk like trying to make something out of what if this will boost Philly's economy. Do you see that happening?
I don't. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So I don't know what's being talked about in Philly. I will be going to some of the games, and I will stay a part of the organization as an alumnus. But pretty much other than that, this is the most I've said about it, because all I've been doing is giving thumbs up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right, so you heard what he said, right? And like I said, you can kind of tell from his statements that he don't really want to give. He's a part of the organization still, right? From an alumni standpoint. So he's not really gonna come out and give too much of the statements like he did in the past. Like I said, in the past, he said that LeBron James was ranked number 15 all time. Then he said LeBron James always stacks his teams. So that's when LeBron James wasn't part of the organization. So now that LeBron James is part of the organization, he gotta be he gotta be very selective about what he say about LeBron James. That's number one. But number two, like from an integrity standpoint, he's not gonna sit there and say that this is the best team. Remember, he pointed out the fact that you got some very young guys on the team. Then you got the older guys on the team, like LeBron James is in his 40s. So he made definitely he made sure to bring that up, right? But the best team, in my opinion, that Philly had, the 76ers, was when they had, like I said, had Dr. J, Moses Malone, Bobby Jones, Maurice Mo Cheeks, and Andrew Toney, right? And they had and some other guys, right? This was like back in '83, so I don't really I can't remember all those guys, but I remember, like the starting five, and what was the coach? Cunningham, right? But Dr. J is not, in my opinion, a real big fan of what LeBron James has done throughout his career. And on other occasions, he made that, on several occasions, he made that clear. So now that LeBron James is inside, he's playing with the organization, he kind of got to go and say what's, publicly, make it seem like, he is, he's supporting LeBron James. He's supporting Philadelphia. Now, you can support the Sixers and not really agree with like what LeBron James is doing. But, as an old school basketball player, I got to believe that Dr. J don't like the way LeBron James is doing it, because it took him a while, to win his ring in Philly. I don't know, for a lot of people who are younger, Julius Erving played in the ABA and he won 2 championships in the ABA. And so he spent a good part of his career playing in the ABA league. And then when he came to the NBA, when they merged, people were saying, well, they was like, well, he can't, he's up in age. He's only a scorer. He's limited. He can't win the big games and stuff like that. So just a lot of the narratives they put around guys, until they win it. And so he went through that. He got to the point where, as though they put the right people around him in Philly, him and Moses Malone, and they was able to get a championship, right? And so he knows that, so it's a certain way that you got to go about getting these championships. And he hasn't done it the way, that LeBron James did it. He went to Philly and he stayed there until they built that championship team. And that Philadelphia championship series against the Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion, was one of the best series in professional basketball that I ever seen. Like one of the best championships. That Magic Johnson, Kareem versus Moses Malone and Dr. J, Michael, and they had Michael Cooper, and man, that was, if you too young to have seen that, you missed out on a great championship series. But like I've been saying, man, this generation is not for the way LeBron James has, went about it. His Dr. J hands is kind of tied. So since LeBron is with the organization, he can't come out and fully say what he think about the situation. You can only go by like what he said in the past about LeBron James moving from team to team, right? So you can do that, and you have to assume that his feelings about LeBron James and what LeBron James is doing haven't changed, which I don't think they changed. Anytime he ranks LeBron James as the 14th or 15th behind Scottie Pippen, he really don't he's not really a big fan of the way LeBron James has gone about doing things throughout his career, right? And so this situation right here gotta be really it gotta really be eating at him, because he just old school and he's just not used to being, he want to see basketball players compete. He don't want to see these guys just cherry pick and move from team to team. And he has expressed that in the past. And I definitely agree with him. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.